Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Tasha aka Miss KIFF, and in this video I'm going to talk about how I had to quit van life after living in my van for 2 years. If this is your first time here, please do subscribe because it's free to do. So let's get into this video now. Okay, so the last video you would have seen, I was in Portugal. Now, prior to that week, I had a lot of things happen to me. My van went into MOT and the bill came to like £800. Was a bit frustrated because the whole point of van life for me was to travel, to have a low cost of living, and to be able to save and be financially secure. And for the last 2 years, I would say my savings has constantly gone up, and with the van, it's gone down. So it's been up and down, and I have not been able to travel a lot as I wanted to around the UK with the van. I could only travel maximum, like I think it was Snowdon was the furthest I've ever been with the van from Wales, and that's just not the ideal situation. Of course, Luna was perfect for me at the time. She was affordable. I could pay for her monthly. She was a stepping stone. But the idea was I had to make the decision from mid-May to sell her, okay? I was going to put her on the market in May, and I actually had a buyer for her, which was a friend of mine who was looking to start van life. However, Luna had the mind of her own, which things completely changed. In this kind of 2 months, things decided to go a little bit not to plan. Thailand changed everything. Thailand made me see that things need to change. My life in Wales, I would say I felt lonely. I also felt like I wasn't going out a lot. I was just working. And my work-life balance was off a little bit. And with Luna not being very reliable for me to then plan weekends and go away, it became a little bit like I'm fixed. And that's the worst possible outcome for me. I cannot be fixed. I have realized I cannot be fixed. I need to be moving, whether it's moving every 3 months or moving every month, whatever the case might be, I need to be out and about, okay? I decided to start to make the transition to start selling her. The idea was to get the money from her and the money that I was working towards with my business and to build a new van, okay? Because her insurance anyway ran out in June. So it was the perfect transition to be able to sell her during this time and convert a new van. But things changed drastically. So I went to go boat sit and boat and cat sitting. I then went up north to Wales and I DJ'd in a forest, which was absolutely awesome. I played a 2-hour set, which was just ridiculous, and it was just perfect. Like, it was so challenging with all the generator cutting out and me transitioning from laptop to CD DJs, which I can do both, by the way. And it was just fun. After North Wales, I realized, I was like, man, I really love to be on the road and I really want to be on the road. I then went that next weekend to like just half an hour outside Cardiff. It was me just living out my van and just having a laugh, just enjoying being in the van in the valleys away from everybody. It's a time where all the northern light came up online and stuff like that. So I woke up and I drove to this lookout spot at 3 o'clock in the morning, and it was brilliant. I got to just sit in my van and just be in my van, and I loved it so much. But I felt like something needs to change. Socially and mentally, I was starting to feel a little bit depressed because I wasn't really going out with anybody. Like, I was just working. I was just working. I just felt alone and I felt stressed because this is the reality of my situation. I'm in a van. I can't really go anywhere. The problem was the wiring harness, by the way. The wiring harness was, so this van is a 2002 Vauxhall Aurora, and basically it was a mess. My van was a mess when I got it, okay? And it always had an electric issue, failing at the campsite, and I had to get roadside recovery, and the doors were always, it's a lottery game whether it's going to lock or not. It's just like, it was chaos. On a bird's eye view, that van was a lot. Okay, it was a lot. But what I noticed with Luna is if you invest in Luna, Luna takes care of you. So I was happy to spend £500 for the first 2 years of every time there's a £500, £600. That was fine. But now it's to the point where, wait a second, if I'm coasting like this after a year and my situation hasn't changed, I need to change it up, because I'm on a forward, like I just got the energy to move forward in my life and to make my life better, because I've had to start over. So this was the most important thing for me to do, make a decision to sell her. Because my mechanic told me, he's like, Tasha, if we dive into this wiring harness, number one, Vauxhall Vivaro don't do it anymore. Number two, you'll have to go into the van, and that could mess up loads of other stuff. So it's going to cost you more than what it's worth. You're better off just selling the van and starting a new one, if I had to advise myself. So I actually trusted my mechanic, because I've been with them for 2 years and I really have a good relationship with them. So I've decided to sell the van. So I listed it on eBay and I had one bid, okay? And at the time I had to think about, what am I going to do? Because I put out a GoFundMe and I only got, like, say, £400 out of it, which is really good. And that £400, I didn't want to promote it too much, because I felt like this is not what I want. Okay, I don't want to be a charity case constantly asking for money. That is just not how I see my future. I'm a businesswoman. It was only cash flow, where loads of, you don't understand, like my personal life, I've got two parts here. I've got my personal life and I've got my business life. I'm a new business owner and my income is not stable enough. Okay. Contracts come, contracts go. It's like up and down. Okay. There's no stability in it. But it's the most rewarding part of my life, because it's given me independence, freedom, and confidence, and all this. It's helping me reach my goals quicker, basically, whatever this baby that I'm growing is, right? Then you've got my personal life, which is like, right, I don't have a home. I don't like renting. I hate renting, to be honest with you. I prefer to I want to buy now. I don't want to rent. So I want to either buy a house or buy a van. That's it. I don't want to rent. It's just not for me. And van life, the whole plan was for me to continue van life as much as possible, so that I could buy my actual home one day. The goal is, I have been locked up for so many months, like in terms of COVID and no finance to go out and do things, that it's a must now. I need to be out and about. Which the only reason why I did the GoFundMe was the short-term income, like coming in. I was waiting for contracts to be paid, and usually they take like sometimes 2 weeks to a month or 6 weeks. So I just didn't have that time. Cash flow sucked, and I was really desperate, I would say, in these 2 months, because I was feeling lost. I was feeling like, what is my future? I don't even know what I'm doing now. Everything's changed because I do not have a van, meaning I'm going to be homeless, and that is a big trigger for me. So I decided to look at my options. Within about 48 hours, I had a plan. Like, I'm not even joking. Found this thing called World Packers. World Packers is a place where you volunteer in exchange for accommodation around the world. Now, my friend actually is doing it from my uni degree. She's out and about in South America and North America doing her volunteer, and she's actually getting paid for it. So I was like, okay, cool, like meaning as a content creator rather than volunteering. So I was like, okay, I can do this. This is perfect for me. Let me sign up for this website. You pay 50 euros for the year and all is good. Then you land up creating a profile, all this good stuff. I'll do a whole video review on World Packers experience anyway. But the idea is that you just contact hosts to see if you can exchange. So I found this wonderful Italian couple. It's doing a ceramic business. I can do the marketing, and I was like, perfect. So I applied for it. I got it, and then my eBay van didn't sell. Like I got one bid. I listed it for £1,500, and I thought to myself, the market as well. Another big pinnacle thing is the market became so saturated for van selling that my van value went down. So all the money that I invested in the previous 2 years, it was kind of like a waste of an investment because I never got my return on investment anyway. It became like literally, if I do not sell now, I'm literally going to be scrapping this van and it's going to be the worst to get rid of anyway. So this is why it was the perfect time to sell the van and get rid of her. So I landed up, this one guy bid, they didn't contact me back. So I wasted a week. I wasted a week where I literally listed the van and then I didn't hear back from him. So I waited a few days, like literally like a week, and then I relisted it again. And then he bid again. So I'm like, right, I'm supposed to be getting out of, I've got literally 2 weeks to get out of this country. I've now only got a week to get out of the country. And this guy is literally wasting my time here. Anyway, he contacted me saying he's really interested in the van. So I arranged for the Sunday to have a viewing. And then that Friday, I started to pack out the van and I moved everything in on that Saturday morning, because my van had been stuck in the side of the road for 2 weeks because it couldn't drive. The battery went dead. So I had to get the AA that morning. So that I got the AA coming out. I had to get my papers for my van because the previous owner, there was a long story for it. So I got the papers for the van afterwards, went to go do laundry, went to go pack all my stuff in storage, started to clean the van, woke up the next morning, cleaned the van again, and then showed this guy this van. It was the most dodgiest sale I've ever done in my life. This guy paid cash. He rocked up with 3 other people. So it was like 4 people bombarding me with questions. It was the most intimidating experience of my life. I wouldn't recommend it, but all in the back of my head was like, Luna, you need to be sold today. Like, I need to get rid of you today. I need this money. I need to get out of here. That's it. So I landed up. Luna was amazing. We went for a test drive. And I have a few clips but it was so intimidating, and Luna was perfect. So I made the sale. He gave me the cash of £1,500 in cash. I counted every cash and I looked at each one to make sure that they were real notes. And then I booked my flight to one way to Italy. And that was that. So that brings me into what's this new series all about. I'm super excited to let you know. I thought to myself, okay, if I've got this World Packers as a backup, I can volunteer part-time, 20 hours per week. Whilst I've got somewhere to stay, I also get to travel, which is perfect for me. I also wanted to, like, volunteering is a good nourishing part for your soul. It connects you to people socially and it's really cool. But I'm building my business on the side. So this volunteer opportunity was great, but it was very challenging to balance everything at the same time. And also I'm managing interns. So it's just a lot. I've got my clients to manage. I've got interns to manage. I've got my content creation to do. It's a lot of time, not a lot of hours in a week, you know. But anyway, so I then only had this one this June volunteer opportunity. August and September wasn't even planned yet. I was like, let me just figure it out as I go along. And unfortunately, I realized I could only be doing this. I could not be doing more than marketing or yoga volunteering because I just don't have the capacity energetically for it. So I never heard back from a lot of people, and it basically brought me to rent a hotel room. And how that came about, you'll have to wait until the series. But basically, I'm in Asia right now. From Europe to Asia, and I was only supposed to be traveling for 3 months, but it's now I'm going to be traveling at least until the end of the year. And things have drastically changed for me. So the whole idea was for me to only be full-time traveling until September, to buy then a van, convert it, do it all over again, restart van life. So let's just say I've paused van life, but I've quit it officially because I do not own a van anymore. And to be honest with you, I was going to rebuild my van either in September if I had all the money saved up. But now that reality's kicked in, I need to enjoy this experience for what it is, focus with my comforts and my luxury that I do have now, and save and build a van next year. I don't know when next year, because literally every month is changing for me right now. So my new chapter, I would say my third year of being a digital nomad now, is chapter 3, my KIFF nomadic journal. And this is where I'm going all in. I'm going all in on myself. I'm dedicating to being a full-time traveler and being able to work on the road and making connections where I go, really exploring, following the cost of living, and just trying to find happiness, I feel still. And I'm learning a lot about myself. I feel like I'm exactly where I want to be right now in my life. I have like the first part of the series is going to be Italy, and then we're going to go into Thailand, which is really cool. We're back in Thailand. And then we're going to do way more other stuff as well, other countries back to back. So follow this journey, you won't regret it. And I can't even fathom that I'm here right now. Like, it's ridiculous. Like, everything has been so fast paced, where every moment is a critical decision to take a leap of faith in yourself. And that's the most wildest thing. Even so many people going, oh my goodness, I can't keep up with you. You would have already known a lot of this if you follow me on Instagram and if you follow the community page here. And I've been going live on my YouTube channel as well. But yes, I just wanted to create this particular video going, I quit van life, so everybody knows I'm not doing van life anymore, but I'm a full-time traveling woman right now. Chasing the low cost of living, and I'm loving it. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. It's definitely a big transition for me. It's definitely a big risk for me, but yeah, it's you just gotta go with the flow of life, and it's either now or never. So I really don't know when I will be back to van life, to be honest with you. I definitely miss it. I do love having a van, but you know, Luna, I couldn't really stand up in. It was cramped in this, like, to stay in the small confined space in the UK. The weather was driving me nuts. Like, I don't have half as much health issues here than what I do in the UK because of the grey and me just being in this confined space. It was just not good enough. So yes, this has been the last 2 months of UK have been extremely challenging, but now it's kickstarted me into a whole new level, and it's just wild. So thank you so much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Ciao, ciao.